what I did was I had my other phone as sort of emergency backup, right? I usually had it turned off and kept somewhere where nobody knows where it is, right? So there you go. But yeah, so I can't contact anybody, and nobody can contact me when I'm not at home. That has advantages and disadvantages, obviously. But for me, it has more advantages than disadvantages. If you have an emergency, then it might be a problem. But here's my philosophy. Let me give you my philosophy, right? If everybody has something, maybe you don't need it. Why do you not need it? Because everybody's got one. Now, let's take that as an extreme. Let's take this as an extreme example. What does that mean? Everybody's got a TV. If everybody's got a TV, you don't need a TV. You can watch somebody else's TV, right? If everybody's got a car, you can argue you don't need a car because everybody else has got a car. Well, what do you need to get somewhere? Well, that's what taxis are for. Yeah, but then you don't have your own personal transport. Yeah, but then I save a lot of fucking money, all right? Because personal transportation is expensive, right? Unless you have a company car, which is cool, right? so that's a good thing. So yeah, and everybody's got a phone, right? Everybody's got a phone. Everybody's connected to the internet. Everybody is completely paranoid about being totally connected to everything, everywhere, all the time, right? Everybody's got to be connected everywhere all the time.
Yeah.
Just walk down the street. Half the people in the street are looking at their phones. Yeah, half the people in the street are just looking at their phones. You don't need a phone if everyone else has got a phone, because you can say, oh, excuse me, I don't have a phone. Could you, there's an emergency. Could you make a call for me, please? Look, here's some money, right? And they, people are nice. People are helpful in general, right? And people will help. People will help. That's my philosophy, right? So, so that's why when I leave home, I take this with me. Only because it's got a really good camera. I can take pictures or make videos. And I also use it for music. Yeah, it's got music in it. And no, not just music, it's got podcasts and audio that I listen to and other things. And it's also good. It's also got good for recording as well. Sometimes I make voice notes and I record my voice notes in it, and sometimes I make notes. It's got a note system in it, and if I have an idea, I make a note of the idea, and then when I get home, I check my notes again. So, but it's not connected to anything. Theoretically, everything is connected, but you know what I mean, right? There's no SIM card in it, so it's kind of nice to know that when I leave my flat, nobody can contact me. It was my second phone is in a drawer. It's usually in a drawer. Here, it's usually in a drawer. There have been one or two situations where I took it with me because it was sensible and logical, and there were potential problems that I didn't want to have. So there were a few times, but I would say 90% of the time, more than 90% of the time, I don't take it with me, because my philosophy is, if you want to contact me and you need me, that's not my problem. Right? So seriously, if you need me, I'm here for you. Really, I'm here for you, but that's not my problem. I will help 100% of the time. but I'm not sitting waiting to help. Right? I will do everything that I can to help anybody who asks me to help them. But I'm not waiting for that to happen. So so I don't focus on that. And it's nice for me to know that when I'm at home, I can do my work and take care of everything I need to take care of at home. And when I leave home, that's it. It's done. It's done. There's no more. And it happened a few times where people said, oh, I will send you a message later. It happened a lot of times. Like somebody said, I will send you a message. And I said, you can send me a message, but I won't get it. But then how can I contact you? Well, we can make an arrangement now if you want. What if something happens? C'est la vie. Right? C'est la vie. What if something changes? Then it changes. Right? How did people live for the last 10,000 years? Right? Until 10 years ago. Nah, let's go back 15, 20. Let's go by 20. Until 20 years ago, the entire of human history was organized like this.
Yeah.
The last 10,000 years of human organization, meetings, planning. Think about this. Think about this. The Parthenon in Rome, St. Paul's Cathedral in London, the works of Michelangelo, the Senate buildings of the United States, the Great Pyramids of Egypt, the Great Pyramids of China, which are secret and no one's supposed to know about them, the Aztec temples of South America, large farmhouses of the 18th century, were all built without the modern communication technology. All of them. Cars, the first cars were built without it. Submarines, the first submarines were built without it. The first rockets to the moon, the only rockets to the moon were built without it. The greatest works of art and architecture in history were built without this. And if you look at the modern world right now, we have this communication technology, and modern art is rubbish. It's very ugly. Postmodernism is really ugly. Yeah. And so there's a strong argument. This is a strong argument for the fact that life is potentially much better sometimes without the communication technology. Without the communication technology. Now, everybody's got a different philosophy, and I understand. Look, if you're talking business and you're talking be first and you're talking money and you're talking share prices and buying and selling and doing things right now, then you need the phone in your pocket turned on. But if you're talking friendship, honesty, keeping your word, long-term commitments, you don't need it. You really don't need it. Trust. Right? Oh, we have to give all our employees these phones and we track them all and we know where the phone is all the time and we know where the company vehicle is all the time, and we know where the company computers are all of the time, and the big companies have got these big systems in place where they track and they trace and they micromanage and they record everything. What does that mean? It means you don't trust anybody.
Mm.
It also means you can collect information and use the information to make things better. It also means that. But it also means that you don't trust people to do what they say they're going to do. And that's an issue. So my friends are very frustrated with me because they say like, oh, we can't contact you. We send you messages and you didn't reply. Sorry. That's not because I didn't get your message, that doesn't change who I am, right? Doesn't change. I'm not, you might miss something. No. Well, I might miss having time to myself.
Mm.
I don't think so. I was talking to somebody about this 2 or 3 weeks ago, and you know how a lot of messaging systems have this system within where you can see when another person has read your message. You can see when another person has seen your mail or your message or opened it or read it. Yeah. Light just
Yes,
turned on.
yes. I recognize as well.
This is very weird. Well, the light's just gone. Right, right now. Okay. Hold on. Bizarre. Okay. Well, I guess lights have to stop working at some point in time. There you go. Modern ones do anyway. Yeah, technology and communication. So a few weeks ago, I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were talking about those notifications that appear on the different communication systems, whether it's Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp or sometimes through emails and all these things. Yeah. And she said that she was under stress. Now, this is the whole point here. She said that she was under stress from her friends because she didn't reply to their messages.
Mm.
And they wrote her saying, we can see that you read our message, but you didn't reply. And so she turned off all the notifications on the different platforms, which you can, except for Facebook Messenger, but there is a way around that. There's a sort of hack for that, but it's a bit complicated, but most people can't do it. She said her friends got angry with her. Well, not like angry, but really annoyed with her because they couldn't see if she read the message or not. And that's wrong, in my opinion, because your life is your time. It's not other people's time, it's your time. And it's your choice what you choose to do with it. And so what? So what if you don't read somebody else's message or reply to it? So what? It's their problem. It's not your problem. It should never be your problem. It's their problem. And maybe they're right to be annoyed about it, but they shouldn't make your life more stressful. And if you want someone to, on a friendship level, if you want someone to be your friend, let them be themselves. You can't be annoyed with a person because they didn't reply to your message, because obviously they don't want to. Let people be themselves. And it might be different in business where you're under stress and in pressure to complete certain tasks by certain periods of time, and you need a certain amount of information from people, and maybe you can't get that information from people, and that's different because they've got a responsibility to provide the information because that's their job, and that's what they're paid for, and that's what they should do. And it's not good if people are avoiding their responsibilities, but that's the task that you take on when you sign your work contract. When you sign your work contract, you say, I'm going to fulfill these obligations. But there are other levels of human relationship, and trust figures very importantly in those, and you have to trust people to do what it is they say they're going to do when they're going to do it. And too many people are too stressed out, in my opinion, by the by the level of modern communication using technology. And it's an art. Things that we're not taught that we should be taught. Working with modern communication devices is an art. It's an art. Responding professionally and properly to emails is an art. It's an art. Getting things done is an art. Yeah, and we know, I don't think we've got enough training on that in life. You know, everyone's given all these devices and communication systems, but nobody ever explains to people how to organize it and how to work with it.